Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another morning manifestation session. Today is Sunday, May the 14th, 2023. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you this morning. Again, my name is Samuel, aka Samuel Cumby Jr., and I am the leader and founder of One Transformation Center, where we celebrate humanity. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you as we're intentional about our mission of inspiring, motivating, and healing lives and relationships across the globe. We thank you for joining us this morning, standing in this space with us, allowing us to support you on your journey as we remain intentional. As we help you to remember that you are an extension and reflection of creation. As you're created in the image of Master Creator. That you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So exciting, right? It's a great day to be alive, as a matter of fact. So for those who are joining for the first time, what we do here is we give you the tools to fill you up. For as you start your day, is how you will end it. So we want to make sure that you start your day at full, overflow. So you're not taking away from your day. Giving from excess. Giving from excess. That's the goal, right? All right, so how do we do that? You say, how do we accomplish this mission? Well, first we begin with 3 deep breaths. I call them the breaths of life. Then we move on to our oaths of manifestation. And then our affirmative word and gratitude. And that's it. We get our day started. All right. Are you ready to begin? But before we do so, like the stream from wherever you are. Like the stream. Let us comment. Let us know where you're checking in from this morning. I appreciate that in advance. If you're listening from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, let us know. All right, let's begin with our 3 deep breaths. 3 breaths for life. Why do we do this? We understand that when we make the conscious decision to breathe, which many of us forget to do throughout the day, we now move from a space of reaction to response, deliberate, intentional response. So no longer is it out of emotion, but on purpose. So, with each inhale, we want to be intentional by allowing ourselves to receive and be in alignment with everything that is working together for our absolute best and highest good. Every idea, every person, place, or thing. And then with each exhale, we will release everything that no longer supports us for where we are in this right now moment. We will release every idea, every belief, every philosophy, every thought, every person, every place, and everything that no longer sustains us, that no longer inspires us, motivates, or heals us. Let it go. Let's begin to breathe. Take a deep inhale through your nose with me. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. One last time. deeply inhale, fill up your body with the air, with oxygen, fueling your body, your every cell. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Now begin to shrug your shoulders and allow yourself to feel your blood moving throughout your body. Shake it off. Oh, yes. It feels good to be alive, doesn't it? You feel life moving through your body? Yes. All right, good people. It's time now to move to our oath of manifestation. I call this our Declaration of Independence. I call this our Emancipation Proclamation. Why? Because it's a declaration that we make to ourselves to be in alignment, to separate ourselves from the narratives that are being created for us, to choose to be in alignment with everything that is for us, for our best and highest good, to make that conscious decision. And I call it our Emancipation Proclamation because it gives us the freedom to be in alignment, to choose to be in alignment with everything, the intangible and the tangible that works for us, with us, as us, through us. And additional to that, that allows us to be able to tap into the expected and the unexpected. So let's begin and declare. Say it with me. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offer, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places, in my life and in the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I can feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have, and grateful for all that I'm ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. And so it is. Take these moments, these words, and allow them to permeate deep into your very being, into the core, to your very essence, to activate everything that is within you to align with the intangible and the tangible, the unexpected and the expected, that are working for your absolute best and highest good, to shift your DNA, to move in harmony, and to release all that no longer supports you. Oh, yes. Now let's move over to our affirmative reading of the day. And before we begin the affirmative reading of the day, I want us to, this is an interesting one. This is one that could be a little challenging today. It comes from, first of all, it comes from A Course in Miracles, which you can find at www.acim.org. I'm actually going to take the lesson and post it, which is a lesson 134. I'm going to post it into the chat so that you can go back to it later and reflect upon it. But before we begin with the lesson, I want us to move into a space of prayer. Because as I was preparing for this, I said, this one could be a little heavy. This one may challenge us a bit. So let's move to a space of prayer to allow ourselves to be able to receive it in its fullness, in the way that it's intended for us to receive it. Bow your head with me. Father, Mother, God, guardian angels, all that works together for our absolute best and highest good, we say thank you for this moment. Thank you for this reading that we are about to receive. Have it to become something that's very understanding to us, that it can penetrate and permeate deep into our being, into our consciousness, and lay upon the mantle of our heart. Help us to be able to decipher, to make it clear and make it plain, so that we may be able to activate it and apply it going forward. Thank you for the opportunity to understand the true meaning of forgiveness and to move beyond the idea of pardon. Help me, help us to let go of all illusions and anything that is preventing us to be in true space of forgiveness, in true alignment with the peace and the innocence that we were created in. For we are created, we are as you have created us, in purity, in fullness and whole. We give thanks for this word, and we give thanks for how this word would change us, shift us, realign and reconnect us with the very truth of who we are. Today's lesson again comes from lesson 134, which is, let me forgive, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. And we're going to move, and I'm going to get out the way and allow the narrator to begin to share with us. One moment here.
Lesson 134. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Let us review the meaning of forgive, for it is apt to be distorted and to be perceived as something that entails an unfair sacrifice of righteous wrath, a gift unjustified and undeserved, and a complete denial of the truth. In such a view, forgiveness must be seen as mere eccentric folly, and this course appeared to rest salvation on a whim. This twisted view of what forgiveness means is easily corrected when you can accept the fact that pardon is not asked for what is true. It must be limited to what is false. It is irrelevant to everything except illusions. Truth is God's creation, and to pardon that is meaningless. All truth belongs to Him, reflects His laws, and radiates His love. Does this need pardon? How can you forgive the sinless and eternally benign? The major difficulty that you find in genuine forgiveness on your part is that you still believe you must forgive the truth and not illusions. You conceive of pardon as a vain attempt to look past what is there, to overlook the truth in an unfounded effort to deceive yourself by making an illusion true. This twisted viewpoint but reflects the hold that the idea of sin retains as yet upon your mind as you regard yourself. Because you think your sins are real, you look on pardon as deception. Vain attempt to look past. Thus is forgiveness really but a sin.
We're having some technical difficulties, so let me begin to read this with us. I'll pick it up where it left off. Because you think your sins are real, you look on pardon as deception. For it is impossible to think of sin as true and not believe forgiveness is a lie. Thus is forgiveness really but a sin like all the rest. It says the truth is false and smiles on the corrupt as if they were as blameless as the grass, as white as snow. It is delusional in what it thinks it can accomplish. It would see as right the plainly wrong, the loathsome as good. Pardon is no escape for such a view. Pardon is no escape for such a view. It merely is a further sign that sin is unforgivable. At least, at best, to be concealed, denied, or called another name. For pardon is a treachery to truth. I want to reread that again. Pardon is no escape in such a view. It merely is a further sign that sin is unforgivable, at best to be concealed, denied, or called another name. For pardon is a treachery to truth. Guilt cannot be forgiven. Guilt cannot be forgiven. If you sin, your guilt is everlasting. Those who are forgiven from the view their sins are real are pitifully mocked and twice condemned. First, by themselves for what they think they did, and once again by those who pardoned them. It is sin's unreality that makes forgiveness natural and wholly sane. A deep relief to those who offer it. A quiet blessing for those who receive it. It does not countenance illusions, but collects them lightly with a little laugh and gently lays them at the feet of truth. And there they disappear entirely. Forgiveness is the only thing that stands in the illusion of the world. It sees their nothingness and looks straight through the thousand forms in which they may appear. It looks on lies, but it is not deceived. It looks on them with quiet eyes and merely says to them, "My brother, what you think is not the truth." The strength of pardon is honesty, which is so uncorrupted that it sees illusions as illusions, not as truth. It is because of this that it becomes the undeceiver in the face of lies, the great restorer of the simple truths. By its ability to overlook what is not there, it opens the way to truth, which has been blocked by dreams of guilt. Now, are you free to follow in the way your true forgiveness opens up to you? For if one brother has received this gift of you, the door is open to yourself. There is a very simple way to find the door to true forgiveness and perceive it open wide and welcome. When you feel that you are tempted to accuse someone of sin in any form, do not allow your mind to dwell on what you think he did, for that is self-deception. Let me reread that. Let's reread that. There is a very simple way to find the door to true forgiveness and perceive it open wide and welcome. When you feel that you are tempted to accuse someone of sin in any form, do not allow your mind to dwell on what you think he or she did, for that is self-deception. Ask instead, would I accuse myself of doing this? Would I accuse myself of doing this? Thus, you will see alternatives for choice in terms that render choosing meaningful. Choosing meaningful and keep your mind as free as guilt and pain as God himself intended it to be, and as it is in truth. It is but lies that would condemn. In truth, is innocence the only thing there is. In truth, is innocence the only thing there is. Forgiveness stands between illusions and truth, between the world you see and that which lies beyond, between the hell of guilt and heaven's gate. Across this bridge, as powerful as love, which laid its blessings on it, are all dreams of evil and of hatred and attack brought silently to truth. They are not kept to swell and bluster and to terrify the foolish dreamer who believes in them. He has been gently wakened from his dream by understanding what he thought he saw was never there. And now he cannot feel that all escape has been denied to him. I want to reread 11 again. It's important. It says, across this bridge, as powerful as love, which laid its blessings on it, are all dreams of evil and of hatred and attack brought silently to truth. They are not kept to swell and bluster and to terrify the foolish dreamer who believes in them. He has been gently wakened from his dream by understanding what he thought he saw was never there. And now he cannot feel that all escape has been denied to him. He does not have the right to save himself. Stand corrected. He does not have the fight to save himself. He does not have to kill the dragons which he thought pursued him. I'm going to go back to line 1. He does not have to fight to save himself. He does not have to kill the dragons which he thought pursued him. Nor need he erect the heavy walls of stone and iron doors he thought would make him safe. He can remove the ponderous and useless armor made to chain his mind to fear and misery. His step is light, and as he lifts his foot to stride ahead, a star is left behind to point the way to those who follow him. 13. Forgiveness must be practiced. Say that again. Forgiveness must be practiced. The world cannot perceive its meaning, nor provide a guide to teach you its beneficence. There is no thought in all the world that leads to any understanding of the laws it follows, nor the thoughts that it reflects. It is as alien to the world as is your own reality, and yet it joins your mind with the reality in you. Today, we practice true forgiveness. That the time of joining be no more delayed. For we would meet with our reality in freedom and in peace. Let me say that again. Today we practice true forgiveness. That the time of joining be no more delayed. For we would meet with our reality in freedom and in peace. For we would meet with our reality in freedom and in peace. For we would meet with our reality in freedom and in peace. Our practicing becomes the footsteps lighting up the way for all of our brothers and sisters who would follow us to the reality we share with them. That this may be accomplished, let us give a quarter of an hour twice today and spend it with the guide who understands the meaning of forgiveness and was sent to us to teach it. Let us ask of him, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. And then choose one brother as he will direct and catalog his sins as one by one they cross your mind. Be certain not to dwell on any one of them, but realize that you are using his offenses, but to save the world from all ideas of sin. Briefly consider all the evil things you thought of him, and each time ask yourself, would I condemn myself for doing this? Let him be freed from all the thoughts you had of sin and him. And now you are prepared for freedom. If you have been practicing thus far in willingness and honesty, you'll begin to sense a lifting up, a lightening of weight across your chest, a deep and certain feeling of relief. The time remaining should be given to experience the escape from all the heavy chains you sought to lay upon your brother, but were laid upon yourself. Forgiveness should be practiced through the day, for there will still be many times when you forget its meaning and attack yourself. When this occurs, allow your mind to see through the illusion as you tell yourself, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Would I accuse myself of doing this? I will not lay this chain upon myself. And in everything you do, remember this: no one is crucified alone. No one is crucified alone. And yet no one can enter heaven by him or herself. Let's take a deep breath. This is that moment we've been waiting for. That moment of relief and release. I can personally attest that I've had moments as early as last night where I've struggled with others not having access to the blessings and the gifts that are waiting for me. I want them to be blessed. I want them to be blessed in an amazing way, fully, in accordance to what the Creator has for them. I just felt like I didn't want to be the one to orchestrate that, to be the authorizer of their blessings. And the reasons I felt that way is because it has appeared, I use that word concisely, it has appeared that they have been operating and orchestrating my demise, trying to figure out every way to prevent me from excelling, from standing on the mountaintop and being able to fully celebrate and embrace everything that has been created for me, all the blessings that I've amassed, all the miracles that I am entitled to. Even using my children as pawns. And I've said, I've forgiven this person time and time again, but the reality is this: how many times must you forgive someone until you realize that you really never forgiven them? Because forgiveness just comes with one. Forgiveness is just one thought. And I'm sure many of you have experienced this as well, whether it's on your job, within your family, your spouse, your exes, former friends, current friends, associates, the government, politicians, the church, ministers, other ideologies, citizens, people from other ethnicities, social demographics. I'm sure there has been someone or someone's plural that you have struggled with offering forgiveness to. You've pardoned them, but you didn't forgive them. Someone said, I can forgive, but I can't forget. Well, that's the equivalent of a pardon. And as we've read today, pardons only offer an illusion. Pardons don't offer freedom. Because in your remembrance, you're still holding them accountable, even though they have a sense of freedom. Because that sense is just an illusion. They can move around. They can have experiences as if they were free. But yet you still hold them hostage. You still have a measure of condemnation within you for them. Here is something that we need to understand as our truth. That which you see your brothers and sisters as, that which you hold your brothers and sisters to, are you willing to hold yourself to that same standard? Are you willing to accuse yourself of doing that same thing? Or are you willing to be that light that with each step forward, a star is left behind to guide others on this path of righteousness that forgiveness, true forgiveness, offers? Many of us have held on to this ideology and this concept of sin, even have tied it to a cross. And have stained a legacy with it as if this legacy died so that you can be forgiven for your sins, without realizing that you are consistently, based upon that narrative, you are continuously crucifying that legacy. Until you can let go of the idea of sin and embrace the idea, the understanding that you are as God created you. And offer forgiveness to yourself when you have made a decision that may be contrary to where you desire to be. It's just necessary for us to make the adjustment to reconnect without the guilt, without the anxiety, without the disappointment, the frustration. We must let go of these things, these thoughts, these ideas, these ideologies, these narratives that continuously have us handcuffed, chained, crucified, and prevent us from being able to truly realize freedom. True freedom. To really be in alignment with harmony, we must change the narrative. I'll give you an example. Based upon my situation that I shared with you, I simply declare, I give thanks for your role and participation in my life. For it is helping me, it is supporting me with being the best and highest version of myself. I give thanks. I remove the idea of you potentially causing harm to me, for I am protected. For that which is with me is greater than anything that could potentially be against me. So I thank you for showing up and assisting me with being in greater alignment with the very essence of who I am. Reconnecting to my true source. For truly being able to take advantage of the Emancipation Proclamation, the Declaration of Independence that has been given to us and that is a part of our birthright. We have to make the conscious decision to free ourselves from thinking anything or handcuffing ourselves to a narrative that doesn't serve in our best interest. And by doing so, we offer freedom. By doing so, we offer peace. By doing so, we finally hold ourselves and everyone else harmless, just as God created us as. Just as the Creator sees us as. How insane would it be for that very thing that created us to condemn us when we were created in His image? Wouldn't it also be condemning itself? I'm going to sit that right there and allow you to think about that. As you go through today's, spending that quality time today, and you ask yourself, you state to yourself, you practice forgiveness. As you give that quarter of an hour twice today, 15 minutes, and spend with it the guide who understands the meaning of forgiveness and was sent to us to teach it. As you declare, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. As you remember to ask yourself, would I accuse myself of doing this? The very thing that you want to judge another for, ask yourself, would you accuse yourself of doing the very same thing? And I would not lay this chain upon myself, because when you do make that judgment, you're chaining yourself to it. You are chaining yourself to it. That's why you can't get it off your mind. That's why it follows you around. That's why you're constantly bothered by it. Because you have consciously or unconsciously chained yourself to that judgment. Let it go. Walk away. Release it. It's not important. It has no value for you. Let it go. And remember, no one is crucified alone. And yet no one can enter heaven by himself or herself. We must bring others along with us by moving in the space of forgiveness. You get authorized. You consciously give other people permission to forgive themselves as well. So when we're looking in the news and they're bringing out these narratives of condemnation, even though they may say allegedly, we must move to a space of saying, I do not want to be attached to this drama. I do not want to be attached to this narrative. I do not want to be handcuffed or be crucified because I form a narrative or a judgment based upon this. I release it. I let it go. And I allow myself to be free of the guilt, free of the shame, free of the insults, free of the need to be right. I let go. And move on. Not offer a pardon, but true forgiveness. Oh, it brings us to the end of today's message, which reminds us, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Now, let's conclude with a prayer. Father, Mother God, we return and we thank you for allowing us to hear your message loud and clear. We thank you for the emancipation that this lesson brings us today. We thank you for the peace of mind and of heart that moves beyond all understanding as we practice intentionally today to perceive forgiveness as it is, not as we want it to be, not from a space of pardon, but simply as it is. And we affirm today that we are removing the handcuffs and the shackles, that we are intentionally making the conscious effort to let go of the narratives of judgment, the idea of sin, releasing it, so that we will no longer judge truth, that we will stand in a space that is not clouded with illusions any longer, but of freedom. We affirm today that we will move and be the light that consistently moves us for freedom, and allow the stars to be left in our foot tracks and our footsteps so that others may follow it accordingly. We affirm that we shall be the light to the world today, that we will change the narrative from being a narrative of being attacked to a narrative of being supported. We thank you that we no longer have to build up any brick walls or iron doors for our safety, for you alone know the plans that you have for us. You alone have stated to us that no weapon formed against us shall ever prosper. And we stand in that space unapologetically. And let you be you. As we be our best to be an extension and reflection of you this day and forevermore. We thank you for blessing us indeed and enlarging our territory. We thank you for the miracles that we are entitled to, which is all of them. We thank you for providing all of our needs and abundantly more. We thank you for opening the doors that need to be opened and shutting those that need to be closed. We thank you for setting us up on this great Sunday to go forth and have a magnanimous, majestic week. We thank you for good health, for right-mindedness, and for the abundance that is matriculating into our lives without limitations, unyielding. We're so grateful. Have your will to be done here on earth as it is in heaven. And so it is. And so it is. It is so. All right, good people. If you missed any part of this session today, feel free to go back. I know it was a little long. Feel free to go back to the YouTube page at One Transformation Center. When you get there, like it, share it, make a comment, let us know that you were there and where you tuned in from, what part of the world, what part of the country. Also, you can also use the hashtag magnanimous No, it's not. It's Morning Manifestation. You can reach us on all our on all of our platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. At One Transformation Center, you can reach us on Twitter at OTC, which is the abbreviation for One Transformation Center, OTC Atlanta. Leave us a comment there and use the hashtag. Use the hashtag Morning Manifestation. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Remember, forgiveness is yours. Seize it. Seize it. And as you are inspired, motivated, or provided any sense of healing in today's session, please take a moment. Support us further. Support us further and make a donation to us via Givelify, Givelify, whether online or on the app. And simply just search One Transformation Center in the denomination. It goes a long way, as we are a not-for-profit entity. It is here to celebrate humanity and to inspire, motivate, and heal lives and relationships across the globe. We have a myriad of ways that we show up in that space on a continuous basis. Thank you for just continuing to follow us. And also, we thank you for investing in your transformation. And we hope that you continue to join us daily throughout the week at 6:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and throughout the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays at 8:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also join us on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, for our transformative conversations. We look forward to continuing to join you, connect with you, and to empower you. You deserve it. We all deserve to be able to realize everything that's working together for our absolute best and highest good. And as we depart, I just want to remind you, continue to be the change you desire to see. Until next time, namaste. I see God in you. Be great.